This is your daily market review for Monday, April 14th, 2025. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review for Monday, April 14th, 2025. Hopefully you're having a great day. Not surprised by the market bounce. Didn't really stick as heavy as I think most were expecting. It looks like whatever's going on in the tariff discussion is kind of wishy-washy. Cloudy at best. Forecast, indecision. This is where it's going to get hard because you hit the 20-day, you hit some levels where we bounced from, went a little lower. I think a lot of folks are anticipating this big upswing. The more that I'm digging into this, the way the volume is acting, the potentiality of what's going on, being OPEX, obviously as well, it's going to be a little choppy. I think you're going to need more clarity before you climb the wall of worry. Not to say that we can't continue to climb the wall of worry. I just think we're at this like kind of inflection point as we go into earnings, which it's going to get a little deeper as the week goes on and even into next week. You're going to have some, I don't know, I think you're going to have some companies kitchen sink the quarters, and then you're going to have some just kind of play the game best they can. And what that means ultimately is that I think you will see a higher price at some point, but then after that coming down at some point, consolidation, filling. A lot of people love to see V bottoms and V tops. The market typically doesn't work like that. It's consolidative, meaning like you move one direction, you bottom, you chop, you pop, you chop, you move in between like these what I call reference points, and in between there, it's not as always easy as just, all right, we're going from the bottom to the top, now we're here. No. So again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. If you'd like to join the Discord room, link description below. Again, we'll talk about the levels, what to expect, and how to move forward with this. If you want to chat, hit me up on Calendly. Let's take 30 minutes to connect, see what I can do to help. Again, if you're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate, and you're not hitting me up, I can refer you out to my great referral network of the best agents in the country. Now, what that entails is that you're going to get 2 agents for the price of 1. You're going to work with a professional. You're not going to work with your Uncle Tommy or your Aunt Sally, who probably do 1 deal a year. You're going to work with people who are fucking top of the line. And that makes a difference, especially if you're looking to sell, you're looking to buy, look for deals, or you're looking to invest. You want to work with these folks. So let me know how I can help. Again, check it out. If you like to follow the posts, trades, ideas, thoughts on Twitter, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Same thing on the Twitter, on YouTube or whatever platform. Notification bell, you'll let when these videos come out. Again, sorry, this one's a little later. Had some work to do and just kind of waiting to see what the headlines after hours were going to be. If you'd like to donate to the channel, again, this is all free. We do this out of the goodness of heart to try to help folks. If you want to donate, you can do so with YouTube or link in the description below. And also check out the website, tradingagent.com. Lots of good resources, ideas, recommended readings. That video got deleted. It's weird. And yeah, let me know how I can help. That's what we're here to do. Fear and greed index popping a little bit, was at extreme levels at 3 not too long ago. Again, not surprised by the bounce. Now we're kind of in this in-between place where I think you have more upside than downside, but I wouldn't be surprised by downside in the near term playing the game. So again, with everything that happened within the tariffs, I think you can see that it was not very clear on what the exemptions were going to be, what was going to be exempted for long, and how. Again, the details are cloudy at best. So again, be careful out there. CME watch tool, we know, man, I think it pumped up a little bit today. We're in the 20s, 20 area. Again, Fed rate cut 3 weeks, May 7th. I doubt it's going to happen. Bitcoin, man, Michael Saylor just keeps buying more. I mean, I know he's committed to this. And again, I don't have any doubt that, it could go higher. But I mean, it just seems like suicidal, tendencies. I mean, I think he blew up some accounts back in the 2000s. I'm not saying he's doing it again, but man, I would not be, using debt to buy Bitcoin at certain levels. I'd be like very optimistic. I'd be always waiting for massive pullbacks if I was him, like kind of like a buyback when the stocks get cheap enough and people give up, boom. And then at the highs, I'd be selling some, but again, he's not doing that. But point being is, I don't know if I don't know. I don't trust it. We're in a chop zone. I've seen these play out. This can happen, and this can play out for a long time. And that's what sucks for Bitcoin, folks. Again, this is where we talk about trading things. The more you're up, the less you're own. You're able to rotate. You look for dips. Again, owning one asset all the time is always going to be difficult because, again, nothing is going to go up all the time, right? Like, you got to understand that. Oil, I think it makes sense here, holding into these levels. Natural gas, again, I am hoping for bigger pullbacks. I don't know if we'll get it or not, but keep an eye on it. Because, again, I love commodities long term. That's the play, in my opinion. I mean, who wins the tech war, the AI war? It's the inputs. That's my personal opinion. Dollar. Here we go. We talked about this like blowing out down near term. This one's tough. Again, I don't really trade the dollar, but I watch for volatility. TLT, we talked about this one, right? Holding the mid 80s. Okay. Okay, I mean, we know Japan, we know China, we're potentially selling treasuries. Why, how far? Again, the volatility is getting up there. So again, do we base out and chop, or are we consolidating? Because again, if you see the volatility explode, like here you got one off the low, and then you just kind of stabilized. Not that we can't, here you go, had some historic volatility at the bottom. Typically, it should come back in, right? So keep an eye on it. I'm not really sure near term what to expect with the bonds, but I do expect them to get bought. I think rates will go lower. I mean, that's what the Feds want. Man. VIX, we talked about pulling back during OPEX. Here you go. Keep an eye on it, right? We talked about the extremes on the 60. Not to say that we can't bounce back from here or could go lower. Like, again, at some point I feel this gap is going to fill. It's just near term. Right? Like, if you look at, and this is what I like to do, is look at historical price action. Like, I don't know how much more downside we have. Again, we could get it near term, and it's OPEX, CHOPEX. But, I mean, I think at some point this week you will get a bounce in the VIX. Look at the VIVIX. They absolutely just crushed this one today. Keep an eye on it. SPY, right, opened up up near the 544 level, which, again, has been an important area, right? Keep an eye on this. My alarm, one of them went off today. Couldn't get over it, but you over the 8 and the 10-day, the volume is just kind of crap. I like this volume and then consolidation. I don't know for sure where, if we're going to break over the 20-day. Again, you need to watch this 548 level. Like, put that in your notes. Like, that needs to be broken. And if it can get over it, well, then we can see about more, right? Like, you need to get over that with, and I'd like to see conviction and close over, not just an intraday thing, right? QQQQQQ hit the 20-day, backed off. We'll see what happens here. Again, I'd be watching, I don't know, the 450 area. You got the gap fill at one point, right? It's just, I prefer, again, if you're coming off the lows, like you can see this in the past. Let me see it. Like that was in the bull market. I'm trying to, something, again, do something to this line. Trying to finally go back to a more bigger puke. Here you go. You get the puke, and then you get some sort of like pop, and then you get a reset, or you get a pop and some sort of reset. I don't know if we're going to get a lower low here, but I do feel like you will get some back tests. That 20-day pop, it's awesome. But I'd be back checking. And again, in my mind, again, you can go long. And that's the thing. I do have some longs, but I have taken some cash or raised some cash just to see what happens here. Because again, I'm not going to sit here and say, pretend this is all over. Like, I don't see clarity that it is. But I'm also not going to sit here and go, well, it can't pull back. I'd almost prefer, like, I'm in a neutral state here. I'd love to see, I don't know, 440s. Like, that would be great. And I think you're going to see that. I just don't know if it's this week or next week at some point. We'll see. Again, if it rockets up, then they figure it out. Well, then all of this is mute, right? But at this point, not figured out. IWM, like the IWM the best. I still think IWM like 180, upper 170 looks like a good spot if you get there. DIA, same kind of thing. It just bounced. Gold, we're getting into the second quarter of true potential. Friday's action, I didn't like that big doji on huge volume. Again, even if the worst case scenario is behind us, does gold keep rallying? I personally think, again, this would be like me saying, like, oh, you just got to hold Bitcoin forever and never expect it to take profits and chop around. I don't think we're at that point. With high volume at the highs, the IB exploding up, historical volatility. Again, I'm curious with the money flow, if it's dying. Yeah, the money flow is dying as it continues to go higher. Somebody, I mean, I don't know if that's retail playing that game. Keep an eye on it. Because, again, I'm not saying gold has to dump, but it would be very normal for it to consolidate. And that's where I think if you don't take profits or if you just don't manage it, you're just going to sit here and go, wow, okay, the market did this and I did nothing. Silver, again, it's really hard to trust until it breaks out. Miners did do pretty good last week, but multi-day ranges, keep an eye on it. GDXJ making slightly higher highs. You want to see that with junior miners. Just interesting. Historical volume, money flow, not really. Again, it's not guaranteed, but here it's like something like here, right? You kept making higher highs with lower money flow. So it's not like, again, this is where I try to explain to people, like, don't sit here and go, oh, this is a fact, this is how it works. Not every time, right? So worst case scenario, we're watching the miners consolidate up at the highs. They hold up again. This is where the easiest trade for me, if I was thinking about the second quarter typical seasonal weakness, I'm rolling up my stops. And the more it's up, the less I own it. If it went freaking bottle rocket here, I mean, that's possible, but it doesn't really seem like it. AEM, again, these like pullbacks and then sharp ripbacks, they feel, and again, with high volume, they feel very distributive. I could be wrong here again, but in probabilities of repeating patterns, I don't trust that, right? I just don't. I'm trying to think of an example here. That was the blow off top. Well, if I see a pattern near term in any of these charts, I'll let you know. Let me know, again, if you have any questions. Newmont, we talked about getting over the 48 level. Okay, back up near the range highs. This area right here is going to be hard. I mean, huge volume. A lot of muscle memory. Let's see if it can get through it. Pass. Chopping around. New highs, though. Well, I guess it's technically not, but these are hard because, again, when you get this and you get these sharp pullbacks, people will be looking to take profits at the highs. It's whether you can just break over it. Hope that makes sense. Taiwan Semi is doing some deals with NVIDIA, looking for American tax breaks. Okay, chopping around. Didn't really give much today. Again, I don't trust semiconductors long term due to bounce, but we'll see what happens here. Micron chopping around. AM Dizzle chopping around. These things are due to bounce. It's just how strong and how much. Like NVIDIA, we talked about. Like, I think this is the short of 2025. It retests the highs from last week. It sucks when you're in between the channel, right? Like, you could play it both ways here. You have a reference point at 114 plus, but you also, I mean, you could play it either way at some point. But if you really want to go long it, again, I just don't trust semiconductors. I just don't, like, that's the cycle of it. You can do whatever you want. SMC, I'm not acting well. Intel, we talked about, you could play this in the low end of range, pop. Again, I don't like semiconductors. And I've said why, because again, when they become a commodity and they all produce great chips, they oversupply the market. And now you have like, again, they're going to keep oversupplying. It's like TV prices, and they just go down, they go down, they go down. And demand, it'll fluctuate around. But again, I think the AI game is real. Like, there is long-term demand. So again, I'd rather be with the inputs versus trying to pick the winner in the outputs. Because these guys are going to have to price match each other at some point and cut. Again, whatever NVIDIA is making, AMD will probably make something just as good. And whatever AMD is making, someone else will. You see my point? Like, that's what happens in the cycle. Because if you go look at the SMH in general, it's already topped. Right? You pull back. All right, let's see if you can get over. I mean, again, I would be a little more comfortable with it, like thinking it could go higher if you get over the 20-day and over last week's highs. If not, it could play this game. Adobe, again, even with the tax exemptions, like, it didn't really act that great. Chopping around. Apple, like, look at this. I mean, it pops and it gives up $10 off the high. Right? Retest some area. Again, buy the rumor, sell the news, and then see what happens. Amazon didn't get any exemptions, so of course it popped and kind of chopped around. Meta didn't really seem to, like, again, you would think this would be up 10 or 20 points. Nope, coming back into levels, which again, if this is going lower, which it could, again, I mean, I'm not saying these can't, like, some of these have had just monster moves. And you go from 80 up to 740. That's what we talked about, playing for the bounce. Like, could it rally into the earnings? This is a tough one. But here's the thing, right? You're at some pretty good references, right? Like, I don't know, Meta at like 5, what's the low of the day? I don't know, 528, 525. I mean, that to me makes sense. Worth a watch with a stop. CRM, it's talked about a double top and then pulling back and then chopping around. Not really much volume. I don't really care. Google, holding up better. I know people are buying long-term calls on it, but again, today's action, just a doji. All right, we'll need more information. See what happens tomorrow. Microsoft, right? Chopping around, retest the highs and acting better, but hits the 50-day, backs off. NDAQ, we talked about this index is crap long-term, this exchange, even due to bounce. Keep an eye on it. MicroStrategy, this one's tough, right? Like, I could see it getting back to the 100-day pretty quickly if Bitcoin holds up. We'll see what happens here. I mean, this is your next reference zone. Should probably tractor beam to it, but if you don't, I mean, I could see it coming right back to the reference lows. Netflix after hours says they want to be a $1 trillion company and they're doing this and this and this, and it's up. It popped on some news. This one's tough. It's basically getting close to the channel high. I'd be watching to see what happens. Roblox, again, not everything has to be traded. Chopping around, hit the 200-day crowd. I know Coop's talking about, so I just figured I'd pull it up. I was looking at it. Like, you've got a pretty big reference point here, and it gapped up today, then closed right back. Tough one real near term. PanW, again, I like cybersecurity names a lot. They're all acting pretty good, but see what happens. Tesla talks about exemptions for cars after hours. We'll see. Again, I don't know here. I'd prefer, they have the earnings on the 22nd coming up, right? So that's next week. You're pretty close. Is it going to really lift off until earnings? That's the question. Unless someone leaks that they're doing something big, I'd be watching the 240 area and see how we handle that. Because again, going into earnings, that could be a little speculative. All right, let's try to speed up. Some of the Palantir, we talked about this one holding up pretty well. Again, popped up, gave it back. Insight, again, I talked about in the mid-50s. I like it. Keep an eye on this one because, again, I think bios have just been slaughtered. They're due to bounce. HIMS, again, people think this is a $1 trillion. I'm like, what the? There's no barrier to entry. I don't get it. I mean, I see the 200-day. I see it due to bounce. But after that big move, it looks like a pump and dump. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. Like, it's going to consolidate. You can trade the ranges, but leave it alone, man. Like, if you're expecting, like, long-term, I don't believe all the pumpers on the internet. Baba hit the 200-day, talked to Dow's bounce. Coop pulled this one out in the Discord room. Nice trade, my friend. Again, I don't really trust China long time, but for a trade, like, a long time, nice bounce. Again, we talked about the potentiality. Again, even if the trade war does lessen up, like, I don't know how much Baba is affected by the trade war, in my opinion, hence where makes sense. Nice bounce. Congrats, McDonald's. If anyone took that trade, reach out to him and you should compensate. Again, like I like when people donate and reward for trades. Like, if you want me to post more trades ideas, hey man, again, we do this for free. You don't have to do anything. As a generation high, like, if I take someone's trade and I duplicate it, like if I traded Baba, I'm gonna be like, dude, I didn't have to think. You gave me the answer, and if I made money off of it, why would you not share a little bit with the person giving it to you? That's just kind of how I feel about it, but I don't know. I know 95% of traders lose money, so they don't really have this like mindset of generosity sometimes. McDonald's chopping around because like they're so like lack mindset. They're like, oh, I've been killed. I don't have money to donate. I get it, or whatever. Tip the dealer. Thanks, Coop, for posting. Nice trade, boys. Starbucks. I don't know about this one. Airbnb. Let's kind of wrap through these fast. This one's chopping around. I mean, I'm just trying to see if there's anything obvious out there. Coin chopping around. DKNG. I mean, all these were due to bounce. Costco seems to be holding up pretty well, but pretty volatile. We'll see. FedEx, we talked about this, looking due to bounce, man, right? Chopping around. I'd keep an eye on this one. The volume's not great, but we'll see. I know some of the banks, like Goldman, had earnings today. They seem all right. Retesting the range highs. This is where I would think, like, if financials can get over the 200-day and really start clearing, we got game. Hood, this one's interesting, right? Holding up pretty well. Again, I'd probably be looking for weakness on this one to probably go long. JP Morgan. Talked about, like, I thought they were going to get crushed at some point. They did. Back to 20-day. Again, we'll see what happens here. Because, again, tariff war will affect potential banks at some point. They hold a lot of the risk. Morgan Stanley, again, bounced on earnings, chopping around. Bank of America, chopping around. I think Bank of America has earnings tomorrow in the morning. Yep. Goldman Sachs popped today on earnings. Not really that much. Carries, we talked about oversold due to bounce. You got it. Keep an eye on this stuff, right? Like, just be careful out there. XBI. Oops. The Jets button. Zoom. XBI, keep an eye on this. Again, I think bios, look at this, have been absolutely throttled. Big volume at the lows, right? Retesting. I mean, it feels, I don't know, let's just draw it out. Fuck it. It feels due to bounce. That's my perspective on it. Jets, right? Nice bounce. Again, I don't know if I trust the airlines that much. We'll see this here. XHB, even housing, got a baby bounce last week. Tough. I mean, again, you need more information, but it doesn't mean it can't climb the wall of worry. Dow, again, I apologize, it's a longer video. It just makes sense. I like these names. They've gotten absolutely crushed. Huge volume at the low. Looking for pullback. CE, keep an eye on this one. Not as much volume, but again, it looks like you have a reference building where you can use that 37 area. Caterpillar, we talked about this one. Going to melt down and then bouncing back, chopping around. Holding up pretty well. Again, I don't know for sure the best on that one. Again, I feel like it could go lower, but it's due to bounce kind of thing. Deer, talked about the 200 days, has been holding up really well. Again, these guys are all going to be subject to tariff potential. But again, I like that they don't have much downside if you do buy them down here. Nucor, I don't know, steel might have a little more downside. X is going to get bought out at some point. IIN, get a nice bounce off the channel lows. Again, these all had really good references. Keep an eye on VALE. We talked about the bull bear trap, right? Coming right back. Arrow, again, I like Arrow a lot. Again, I think this thing has gotten slaughtered. You're back at the lows. Copper prices. Again, I think this is the thing about the trade war. Commodities are really where it's at, right? Like, what do you think the big deal about Ukraine is? It's about the commodities. It's about all the stuff in the metals. Think of it as like Lord of the Rings. The metals are where all, like the metals in the mountains. The Urals. FQVLF, again, watching the 10s. SCCO, again, we talked about how copper names looking like they're holding up. I mean, that's nice. New highs and gap off the low. Did not close at the low of the day. FCX, not as pretty. Keep an eye on it. Again, I like URNJ. I get like, how can you not look at channel low? Look at the volume. I mean, you zoom out. This thing was at 30 not too long ago. Extreme with volume. Yeah, I would play that. CCJ, again, we talked about this pulling back. Mid-30s were kind of the spot again. I'd like to get it lower, but didn't get it. Ag names, we talked about these. Due to bounce. You're welcome. Right? Mosaic, channel low. Whew. Ripping right back. SQM, we talked about buying this one. Looking good. Right? This thing was at, I don't know, 100 not too long ago. Here you go. Double bottom with volume. Again, doesn't mean it has done, but man, there's so many great risk rewards. Like, I buy Apple all you want, but I would buy materials if you want safety. That's how I look at it. NTR, same kind of thing. We can higher lows. AA, again, cooping them. Said, I mean, it makes sense down here. Retesting some identification of levels in the options action. It makes sense. I mean, I'd be watching down here. Kelu, same kind of thing. Got blasted and chopping around. Look at MP today, man. Nice move. Huge volume breaking out. Like, I would put this on your watch list. Now, can it break out without the market? Anything's possible here. But somebody wanted it today. So keep an eye on it. Cliff, again, I like these. It makes sense down here. Look at these things. Just beaten. Solar, look at even like silly old solar, right? Chopping around. Sedge, chopping around. I mean, I think solar got some exemptions from tax stuff. Okay, due to bounce. Again, I like First Solar the best out of all this. Again, I think you have a nice base here. HYG even got a bounce today. Keep an eye on this one. Again, this thing's been breeding. Oil, not much action today. UNG, I hate this product. Congratulations if you've taken profit on it. KOLD, I mean, I really would like to see, I don't know, 28, 30 minimal to short this thing. XOP, we talked about it. It was a gift down at near 100. Okay, chopping around. Drip, Gush, all that stuff. I mean, I think Gush in the 15s makes sense. MPC, watching. Right, gasoline names should buy them first. They look like they are. Valero, same kind of thing. Bottoming first. ExxonMobil, this thing was looking like it was going up to new highs. Comes right back. Multi-day range chopping. BP, we talked about you could buy this thing at the 25s. Keep an eye on it. Occidental, you think Buffett's not buying more down here? Huge volume, right? Like, I think this, I mean, again, it might not be a fast one, but 36 level makes sense. Devon Energy, we talked about a lot of these names getting blasted and blowing off. Keep an eye on it. Apache, same kind of thing. Not as great a volume, but again, just blasted. Zoom out. Lyondell base, blasted, right? Big volume at the lows. Keep an eye on it. SCVE is another one we like. The junior oil names. Junior. Right? Big volume at the lows, cut in half. Okay, keep an eye on it. EQT, this one's been holding up really well. Credit where credit's due. Last but not least, again, I like Flex LNG, and a lot of people have different opinions. I'm just going to go with the charts and see what happens here. It makes sense. There's been a big consolidation pattern. You got volume at the channel lows. If you bought at the channel low, nice work. Can it go straight to the channel high? I mean, we'll see. It makes sense. I think this is, again, we will be natural gas exporters over time. Like, that's going to be part of what I think the tariff and trade negotiations with Europe will be. All right, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. I appreciate all the love, support, and generous donations. You have a wonderful evening. We'll catch up soon. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, your PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.